This high growth stock crashed and burned last week, dropping 60% in a single trading day. It tried to stage some sort of recovery the day after, but it's still down over 50% for the week. Now zooming out a bit here, we can see the story doesn't get any better. It is down nearly 80% in the last few months since it went public. So what is this stock? Why is it down so much? Is this a buying opportunity? Are there some red flags we need to be aware of for this business? And of course the question, can this be a potential multi-bagger long term? We see where the stock has been. We see where the stock is today. Can it get back to those all-time highs? We'll talk all about that in this video. We'll kind of break down the business. We'll kind of look at some valuation metrics. And I think it's going to be a very interesting video here. So guys, if you find any value in this video at all, consider hitting the subscribe button, the like button. If you want to join our VIP group and our Discord to talk about stocks like this, check the link description down below as well. So Amplitude is the company we're discussing today. Ticker symbol is AMPL. It's a newly public company and it's a high growth software business, SaaS business here, that claims to be the new era of digital optimization. So in other words, they help companies harness the power of product data to maximize growth for their businesses. And as you can see at the bottom of your screen here, they got some big companies using them, including Instacart, Shopify, PepsiCo, and Ford, amongst many others. In fact, on their website, they are proud to showcase their customer list. The website here shows that they total over 1,400 companies, and 26 of those companies are Fortune 100 companies. So in their most recent quarter, they actually came out and said, they got some new names here: Toyota, Twilio, Taco Bell, amongst others. And not only did they win net new customers, they also expanded offerings to existing customers like HBO and Canva, amongst others. So this company may be relatively new to the public markets, maybe relatively unknown, especially here on YouTube. There aren't too many videos on this business, but it's clear that it is a product that businesses of all sizes seem to take notice of. They seem to be giving this company a try, so there definitely is something valuable that they offer that companies of all sizes can take advantage of. Now looking through the latest earnings, they actually say they have nearly 1,600 customers now. So that's up from the 1,400 on their website. And they have a net retention rate of 123%, meaning that their customers spend 23% more with them year over year, indirectly telling us that their product is valuable and quite sticky. Now the whole world is moving towards digital transformation, taking advantage of this whole cloud revolution, software revolution that we're seeing. And Amplitude is kind of front and center with a segment of this. They like to classify themselves in the same league as SaaS behemoths like Salesforce and Adobe, and they claim that they're the leader really in the product segment for businesses. So up until this point, things look quite compelling. The business is pretty interesting. They offer something that customers like. It's a SaaS model, which is extremely lucrative, but there are some drawbacks with this business. The first, of course, the most obvious, being that it's a small company right now and their stock is extremely volatile. In Q4, the company actually pulled in $31.3 million of revenue in the US, which is around 66% growth year over year. And internationally, they pulled in around $18.1 million, which is around 62% year over year. Now, on top of this, they also do operate at a loss. They have decent gross margins of over 70%, but they do have negative operating margins and negative free cash flow as well. We can see that they have over $300 million in cash though currently, so they can afford to continue on with this cash burn that they're currently doing. But eventually this does need to flip. We do need to see some positive free cash flow for the business to sustain itself, and that's when a lot of investors and big funds may actually pour some money into this. Okay, so now we threw in a little bit of red flag / negativity here from an otherwise pretty compelling growth story. So I think the next logical step now would be to look at their most recent earnings report, because that's when this stock literally lost 60% in a single day. So for Q4 2021, they actually came out quite strong in my opinion. They beat on EPS, they beat on revenue with strong growth. This tells me, this is not what investors were disappointed with. So there's more to this story. Now digging deeper, sure enough, guidance appears to be the misstep here, because the business is projecting around $226 to $234 million in revenue going forward versus the consensus of nearly $236 million. And on top of that, they're still going to continue with big EPS losses for this year as well. Now breaking this down further, the story is now that their growth is slowing. It's going from over 60% in Q4 to now estimating around, the low 50% range for Q1, and then, fiscal year 2022, somewhere around 35 to 40% range. On top of this, you kind of add a little bit of dilution there from their shares, and investors were just not pleased with these numbers overall. So I think it's justifiable that the stock sees some sort of correction, some sort of pullback, contraction of valuation, because their guidance was not as strong as the street expected. But a 60% drop in a single day tells me that this probably was a massive overreaction, probably triggered a lot of stop losses, a lot of fear set in, and just kept leading to more and more and more selling. We're looking at their enterprise value to sales here on a ticker. By the way, if you're interested in this platform, want to see, metrics like this for stocks you own, check out Ticker. I have a link description down below as well. They're a great service that I'm affiliated with, and I personally use it myself. But anyways, you can see here that their multiple has compressed from over 30x in November to now around 8.5x. So I'll be honest, based on companies I've seen over the years, high growth, SaaS type models, strong gross margins, an 8.5x multiple here is quite attractive. Remember, they're still rapidly growing, they have really strong net retention rates, and they have some big customers under their belt. So you could make a case here that the stock is currently undervalued. The negative, of course, you need to consider is that they are free cash flow negative right now, and analysts don't expect this to change and turn positive until at least 2025. But the plus side is that their revenue growth is still expected to continue growing rapidly, and over time as they scale, things will turn positive. They will be profitable as well. At least that's what the projections show. So in my opinion, Amplitude here is kind of a balancing act. You kind of want to understand, okay, what's the upside potential for this business, say over the next 5 years or so? And what's the possibility that the stock could see another 50% correction in the coming months? Maybe they guide down again in the next quarter. That would spook investors once again. That could lead to another 20-30% sell-off. Or maybe they do the opposite. They actually come out stronger than expected. They show that their growth is accelerating again, and that gets everyone excited, and that could see maybe a 20-30% pop in a single day. The stock is extremely volatile. That's, I think, the most obvious thing we can say here about this. And just based on their metrics, I think there is a possible situation here to make some good returns long term. That being said, this is a risky business. This is a volatile business. They're quite strong. They're not profitable. So you got to manage your risk accordingly. Anyways, I'm curious in the comments down below. Are you guys interested in Amplitude? Have you heard of the stock before? Are you invested in this company? Love to hear your thoughts in the comments, as always, guys, down below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to invest positively, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.